Hello, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Teresa. I'm the Garden Goose Stitcher. You're here for Flosstube 11. I do know it's January 31st because tomorrow is February, and that really snuck up on me. Did it sneak up on you? January really went fast there. Seems like I was just getting ready to go to stitch away, and now I'm talking about February stuff. So I did not have a floss tube last week. I didn't have anything to really share with you, and I really didn't. So I probably have like in every other week more of volume of stitching, so that's probably what will happen from now on. But I have plenty to show you, especially, you know, there's no haul segment anymore. I'm just kidding, there is. There totally is. I want to say thank you for coming back. Thank you if you found me recently. A couple of people had shared my Flosstube on their channels, and I'm really grateful, and it's been so fun. There's a slew, like a whole bunch of new Flosstubers. Like, I just can't even catch up. Every time I open up Instagram, there's a new Flosstuber I gotta go watch. So anyway, so there's like all this stuff, and I'm really grateful for all of you for coming here, checking in with me, and so yeah, I'm going to talk to you about my stitching. Nothing has really been going on. It feels like we've had a lot of snow lately, like a good amount, thankfully, because it had been warm and muddy. Like, it was brown season here since Christmas pretty much, and this past weekend, maybe a week, we've gotten a bunch of snow, and so we have a nice white. The sun's been out, it's been shiny out, and everybody's feeling better. There's a lot of vitamin D supplements been taken this past month. But also, I was worried because we have maple trees that we went to tap. Last year we tapped 3 trees. I think we had 5 taps because 2 of our maples, listen, I'm sorry, this is boring, but some of them have like more than one, like if not one main maple tree trunk. It's got several offshoots or whatever, I don't know. And so we'd had 5 buckets gathering sap and on 3 trees, and then it was just kind of like, let's see what happens. And we ended up getting like almost 2 gallons of syrup. We would have had 2 gallons of syrup, but there was an incident, and apparently aluminum melts at 1100 degrees, and we know that now. It was a miscommunication and a lot of confusion, and everything was fine. But we would have had 2 gallons from our 3 trees if there hadn't been that meltdown. But this year we have more trees that we had to like mark before the leaves fell, and then we're hoping to get more syrup, but it has to be cold. It's when the temperatures during the night are freezing and during the day they reach above freezing that the sap starts moving around, and it hasn't been freezing. So we were really concerned about we're almost out of syrup. Now we're really thinking about that quart jar that worth that melted. Anyway, so thankfully is what I'm saying. I'm very grateful that we have snow and freezing temperatures. There's hope for maple syrup. Nate's been back to hockey. He had a scrimmage on Friday night. It was a wild Friday night. We went to a 4-H barn to watch him play. They got their booties whooped, but it was fine. It was fine. It was great to see them out there. It was a fun night. We almost died driving there and back because it's been snowing a lot. It took them a whole extra hour to get down there. Thankfully, it was only like an extra 20 minutes for us. So I have been stitching, and I have this past wepe felt a flurry of motivation to finish things. So it's been really great. So I only have 1 whip to show you because I finished all the other things the things that I've been stitching on. So my only whip to really show you, I have made progress on this, my schooler during school, my January preschooler. I started this last month during school just to stitch on the big chart. This chart is actually, I have that kitted up and it was meant to be a snow day project. You know how Two Needles Pulling Thread, Missy and Kathy, they have a snow day project that they stitch on when it's snowing, and I meant to do that, but usually I just stitch on whatever I want to get done. I don't know. I've been bad about it. So I have, look at this. I've started stitching at it not during school because I'm so close. All I have left are the mittens up here. And I just love it, love it, love it. I finished that little snowman part. You see that? And I got the text finished. I just have to put those mittens in. I love it so much. I was really, really hoping. I still have hope. I'm probably going to stitch on this tonight. Every night that Dave works, we watch a show before he leaves, because he leaves for work at like 9:30. Does he? 9? I don't know. It's late, you guys. And then we watch one show together as a family, and then I watch A Call of the Midwife or 2. And so I've been getting quite a bit of stitching done during that time. And I haven't been holed up here by myself. I've been down in like the living room where I feel like I can be with the other people in the house. So that was the only WIP I'd actively stitched on. I have some more WIPs from January. That winter pattern from Salt and Pepper Stitching and my snowy string. Those are on my February horizon. But look at this, WIPCO. My 2 projects for WIPCO in January were marked off. My Rooster and Hens, it was 5 days or a finish. Well, no, it was just a finish. And then my May Cottage was 5 days or a finish. And I ended up working on it 7 days, I think, maybe 8. But I did finish it because I wanted to so bad. So let me show you that. It is the May Cottage from Twin Peaks Primitive, the I'll Be Home sale. Oh, I'll Be Home series. All cottages in one. There was a sale for this for Pam from Just Keep Stitching, her birthday sale a couple of years ago. And you know I'm not even close. But I did finish May. I finished it last night. Last time I showed this, look at, you can tell. Okay, in the white, there's 2 tones. There's a, it called for a white and 3866, and I didn't have 3866, so then I used 3865, and I thought, well, are you really going to be able to tell? And then I organized my floss, you guys. If you're following me on Instagram, you might have saw it. But my back stock of floss, I have floss drops that I keep my bobbinated or whatever, my floss that I've been using, and then I have a back stock of floss that was in a old like picnic basket that I found at a thrift shop, and it was just a mishmash in there, and every time I wanted to look and see if I had something, I was extremely frustrated, and I usually ended up going to buy more, which is why I found like 11 skeins of some things in there, and I would have never known. But look at this, I organized it. So this is my back stock of DMC. So just the floss that I have extra from. Like a lot of times, especially when I did Mania or something like that, I would just go buy all the floss for like a project, if it's DMC. And then I have multiples, a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff. So, found that out. And so I ended up finding, the moral of the story is, I ended up finding 3866. Sure enough, it sure is a lot different than 3865. And so I ended up basically swapping them out. So you can see that light, that different tone of white. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But I ended up finishing it last night. I love it so much. To the point where I even pulled out February to hopefully have what I can to kit it up. Is that February house right there? Isn't that cute? I think I'll kit it up and then see what happens. I mean, we're going on a cruise. Have you ever been on a cruise? How much stitching can a person get done if they're not really into like adventure? I'm going for the week off of dishes and cooking. So I'm not gonna like swim with dolphins or anything. I'm just gonna go and not do dishes for a week. Sounds like a dream. Sign me up. So we're going on a cruise at the end of February. So I'm starting to really wonder what I should take. I don't know. My other, my other Whipco, let me show you my other Whipco. It's kind of off track. It's a finish. It's a fully finished object. Can you even? I finished the rooster and the hens. I found this trivet at a thrift shop. Listen, if I have to say thrift shop again, just know. I normally can make words come out of my mouth, but I found this trivet at a Salvation Army, to be specific. A long time ago, it was orange, like bright, like 70s orange. And I bought it. And then, a couple months ago, my friend Lisa, who lives in Texas, we were in a group message, probably our wordplay group message, and she said, I'm going to finish this, whatever it was. I think it was a hands-on design, like those monthly little guys. I don't know. And she had the same trivet, but in black, and it had a different tile, because it's got like an actual tile on it. And it's the exact same one, but different color and different tile. And I was like, holy catfish, I have that trivet. What a quinky dink. But, because I bought this years ago. And I live at it must have been a common, was this at the nickel store? I don't know. Is that the nickel store? The dime store. The dime store. We used to have a dime store. Anyway, and then it was a Rite Aid. Well, and for a while it was the dime store connected to the Rite Aid, so I don't know. Anyway, I painted it white. I couldn't do the orange. I put up a poll on Instagram. It was like mostly white. Some people wanted it to be green or stay orange, but I painted it white with chalk paint. And then I finished it, and it's like the perfect exact size. Can you even believe it? I love it very much. I'm going to put it downstairs in my dining room somewhere on the wall. So those are my whip goes for January. My whip goes for February, I haven't pulled out of the under the bed yet. One is the birthday tart. It's the birthday tart. I don't know who it's for. I'm not even want to guess. And the other one is, it's that Willy Ewe, that cat in front of the moon. And I found it's called like Midnight Dreamer. I was looking it up somehow or somewhere, and I found out that it's called Midnight Dreamer, and I don't know that it's printed on that entire leaflet, but now I know the name of it. I literally have been calling it October 31st. I don't know stuff. You already know that I don't know what I'm talking about. My next finish, I finished the Spring Doxology. Thank you for all the people who forgave me for not being able to pronounce doxology. I saw this video today where it was like a short where this guy was getting ready to call for Chinese food or something, or he like practiced it 2 times, and then he picked up the phone. He was like, I want shrimp fried rice and a pork egg roll. He practiced it 2 times, and then he picked up the phone and he's like, I'm a shrimp. He just like totally forgot what he wanted to say. Couldn't make normal words. That's how I feel sometimes when I do Flosstube. Anyway, Spring Doxology. I worked on this 3 Sundays for Sunday Stitch, and I finished it. You'll probably be able to see through it. I did enjoy this very, very much. You can't really see. I did a lighter yellow for the bird's beaks. I think they're supposed to stand out a little bit more. Well, I don't know. I love this. Spring Doxology. It's on coloring cotton fabric, vanilla. I think it's an 18 count. And then the pattern is Sweet Wings Studio Spring Doxology. And a lot of you found a way to work doxology into your conversation with me this past week, so it's great that we're all just praising the Lord so much. Next, I have another finish. It's my wordplay, my February wordplay. I finished stitching this. I I stitched on it on Wednesday, and then I stitched on it on Thursday and Friday. I think it was Friday that I finished it. And then I went to go finish it, and I didn't have a big enough sticky board for the backer. So I got it on its sticky board. I do love it. I very, very much love it, very much. And I'm going to put this pink gingham behind it. And then it'll be on this perpetual calendar that I have from TSC. That's Tractor Supply Plus. Or no, Tractor Supply Center. TSC. It's a feed store, you guys. And they have some of the cutest darn stuff you ever saw. I don't know if you have a reason to go to a feed store. But sometimes they have cute boots, too. But I bought this a couple years ago. This is my February, or my January, and then my February will hopefully in February be finished. I have to run to Hoblob and then get some sticky board. I didn't run over there because it's been snowy. And I'm trying to restrain myself. So hopefully this will happen in a couple weeks. It's finished, but it's not fully finished yet. Almost. It's very close. Very close. And lastly, I had another finish. I finished the silo barn that I was... Nope, it's that one. This silo barn. And it's by Lori Holt. It's So Emma. And I stitched that barn, and I have to say that by the time I finished filling in that barn, I don't know who could have standed to fill in all those barns. It's a lot of stitching. I'm going to insert a picture here because it is ginormous. I finished it on a barn that I had from Hobby Lobby. I had intended to stitch the month by months, but then I realized I'm probably just not going to do that. I also had a very enlightening conversation with the Fanciful Flamingo the other day. She says, you know, I just don't know that I need the months of the year broadcast all over my house. I don't need 58 things in my house that say the month of the month we're in. And I have to agree. So anyway, so I ended up using the barn. It was this big, huge barn. A couple people used it on like the Stitching with the Housewife group. And I saw it and I bought it. And then I realized I wasn't going to stitch it. So I decided to put my silo barn in there. And it's way too big for me to bring upstairs. I'll just drop it. But I did bring all the little guys that are going to be changed out in the middle. So this is February. Just a little churn dash. I don't know which way it goes either. This is just a little whirligig pinwheel for March. April is a little chick. Isn't that cute? Pretty soon it'll be chick season. I'm only getting 6. My hens are up to 10 eggs per day. And I am crediting the brighter skies with the snow, the reflection from the snow. You know, it's just much brighter than it had been. We had gotten down to like 2 eggs per day, and that's pretty bad for 18 chickens that are eating 2 eggs. They're not pulling their little weight there. So now that it's snowed and we have all this like bright skies, that now we're back up to 10 eggs. So that's nice. This is July. This one is August, and I think a lot of people attribute scarecrows to like more fall, but truly it's in August when you need to scare the deer and the squirrels and everything else out of your garden because there's so much fruit to be had. This is September. This is October. Oh, I ended up stitching these. I did these on the New Year's Eve 12 by 12, and then I ended up stitching them at PT appointments, or keeping it in my purse and stitching on it, or keeping it in my car. And I need another little pattern to put in there, so those are all done. Finished the silo barn and all of those little guys. Can you believe it? It was amazing. So that was all my finishes and my fully finished objects. I want to tell you, hold on. Okay, listen. So while I've been stitching, I've been watching all these new Flosstubers. Have you watched them? Can you even? So I was watching a whole bunch of them, and I wrote them down so I'd be able to tell you the words that I meant to say. I watched the new Hampshire Stitcher. Her name is Lauren. And like every word that she wants to say, she's able to say. And I'm assuming it's because she's younger and she doesn't have 28 addresses and phone numbers and social security numbers memorized. I was thinking about that. I was like, no, I cannot recall the word doxology on a whim, but I can tell you my 15-digit phone number when I lived in Japan. She's super sweet. She stitches like a pro, and everything she stitches are beautiful samplers. She's like prolific, even though she started during COVID. And so good for her. I love watching her though. She's so easy to listen to while you're stitching, and I loved watching her. I think you should check her out. I also watched Brandy and Emma, their mother and daughter. They're B&E Stitchery, B&E Stitchery. And I've been friends with Brandy on Instagram for a while, and she's great. And then her daughter took up stitching a couple months ago, like at Thanksgiving time. And so now she's got a stitching buddy, and they're like full force. It was really great. Their Flosstube was really fun to watch. I like watching a new stitcher progress, and especially like see how they like start with kits and then they like migrate over to other stuff. It's always fun to watch. I also watched Liz and Shelly from Antique Needleworkers, and they are fantastic. And apparently, was it Liz? Was at Stitch Away. I hadn't seen their Flosstube until the other day, so that's a bummer. I wish I could have met her. But they are amazing Flosstubers, and they like know what they're doing. They're like professionals. You should check them out. There'd be quality programming over there, not like what you get here. I have a little bit of haul, and I have a little bit of stitchy kindness. I got today, like when I stopped at my mailbox, I got my Weeks Die Works, and I didn't realize that the Weeks Club was going alphabetical as well. I'm pretty sure these must be alphabetical, because they're pretty crazy. But look at that. So I like that. That's pretty exciting to me. Look at that color. Can you see it? It's like very variegated. That reddish color. Absinthe. Is that alcohol? Absinthe. What's alcohol? Aren't they pretty? This one is just bright. I also, on the 15th, I ordered those couple of patterns from Etsy, and then I ordered from 123 Stitch, and it took a bit. I think I got them last Wednesday, so it took like a little bit over a week. I bought this pattern, Farm Life by Little House Needleworks. I really, really, really like it a lot. I don't know why I had never seen this anywhere, but my friend Lisa is stitching it, and she kept trying to peer pressure me, and it worked. And I bought the Milk and Honey fiber on a whim. I bought this for that pattern. That's what Lisa's using. And I was like, what are you using over there? And she told me, and I said, okay, I'll add to cart. I didn't check out to the 15th, but I added to the cart. I also bought these because, oh, what the heck? As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And then there's like this little floss ring thing. You see that thing? Isn't that cool? Big glare, big glare. Lizzie Kate. And then this. Be bold and brave. So I got those, and then I had bought, I'm sure, a 1/4 yard of 18 count vintage country mocha. And I don't remember what I bought this for. I wish that when you had checkout, when you're checking out, you could write notes on each item that you bought. Like, this is for that pattern you have, or what, you know, that happens to me a lot. Happens to me in the quilting world too. I'll have a large hunk of fabric, like 5 yards, And I think, well, this was supposed to be a backing for something, but what? Hard to say. 4 years later, 3 years later. I also got some stitchy mail, happy mail. Missy sent me some older patterns with, like, all of them have a goose in it somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, see the goose? Isn't that sweet? What year is this from, Missy? 1990. Charming Seasons. I like that a lot. I actually like all of them very much. Very, very much. This one is super sweet. Under the Sun. Barbara Berger Richards. Look at those geese. I think I could very easily modify Canadian geese patterns to look more like my pilgrim geese. I just take the color up. And then, luck of all luck, she sent me this. This is the same vintage pattern that my friend Tammy had sent me. Great minds think alike. Anyway, so I thought it was fun. See that they both thought of me. And then my friend Holly sent me some passions. She passed some of her stash. All these the bee themes. Do you know that I got my husband a beehive for Christmas? Did I tell you that? I probably wouldn't have, because why would that come up in a floss tube? But I did. I bought him a beehive. It's actually a flow hive. Have I told you about this? I don't think so. It's a beehive, but instead of making a honeycomb and putting, depositing the honey in the honeycomb, where the human has to take it and scrape it and ruin the honeycomb, this has like a silicone honeycomb, and then you turn this dial and the honeycomb just shifts a little bit, and then the honey can pour down through it. And so then you literally just fill it from a spout, and then the honeycomb will like go back. And so then they don't have to work on that and spend the energy building the honeycomb again. And so I think it's very interesting, don't you? So we'll see. Honey, as much as goats are on the list, I think the bees will be first because they're much easier. We just have to place an order. The local feed store, again. Listen though, okay. You gotta be careful if you're going to a feed store to look for cross-stitch stuff, which I think you can find there, but you gotta be careful when you go there during chick season, because it's been known that people just get a few chicks because they're so cute, or ducks. So you gotta be real careful. Unless you want chickens, I highly recommend them, especially with the current egg prices. So I think that's all I have. Oh, I have one more thing. I have a special thing to share with you. One moment. Hold on. After my last floss tube, I went through and I put my patterns that I had acquired at the Stitchery retreat. I put them in my X-Stitch app. And then I put them in my bin. And when I was doing that, I found this pattern. When I went to put it in my X-Stitch app, sure enough, it said I had 2 now. And I thought, what? I've looked through my bin for this pattern. I knew I had bought this. And then I couldn't find it. And it was because it was turned this way. So whenever I was flipping through, I saw this. So, and when I went to buy this at the retreat, my phone wouldn't get any signal. So I couldn't check my X-Stitch app. So I just bought it. So I have 2. So lucky for you, I have something to share. If you would like to possibly own this, in the comments, find a way to use the word garden. Garden. And then it could belong to you. I don't want to use the word. Have you seen all the people that have been getting spammed? Listen. So I don't want to say the G word because I don't want to attract attention and get spammed. But if you work the word garden into your comment, I will do a you know what, or you know what. It could come live with you. I'll do a random pick with the picker tool. So I love this, and I want to stitch it for myself, and I want to stitch it for other people, which is probably not going to happen because you know how my follow through is. But anyway, I think that's it. In February, I plan to kit up the February Cottage of the Month from Twin Peaks. I plan to finish my snowy string. Maybe work on my snowman row. I have that kitted up in January and I didn't get to start it yet. I want to finish winter. I will finish winter. I'll start the February or the Valentine's one. The winter from Salt and Pepper. And I don't know what else my plans are. I do need to know how much stitching can I get done on a cruise. The day that we go to Perfect Day Coco Cay, the boys are going to the water park and I'm going to stay in the Calm Lagoon or whatever the heck they call it. I'm just going to find a chair and sit there and soak up the vitamin D and stitch. So, like, how many projects do you think I need to pack for a cruise? I have the flights. We have to go a day and a half early. Well, a day early because of the way we wanted to get there early. It's a 4-night cruise. So, like, we're talking like 14 projects or like 3. Please advise. We have a balcony. I plan to sit out there most of the time and just stitch. And not do dishes. So, please advise. And then in March, I'm going to do March Madness. And this is not the March Madness where there's brackets and people vote on Instagram. I don't really understand that. I understand the concept. I just don't understand, like, what if everybody votes for something you don't want to stitch? Then what? You gonna lie about the poll? I don't know. I would. Anyway, but in March Madness, I'm not going to do Stitch Mania anymore. And I love Stitch Mania. I love kitting everything up and having a new project to work on every day. There's something really weird about it, and it's like liberating. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I love Mania. But I can't participate. Because by the 8th day of May, my garden is ready to plant. So I cannot do that. So I'm gonna do it in March, because in March I am going mad waiting to be able to get out and plant and start seeds and everything. And so I thought, oh, I'm totally gonna do it. I think it was the Handwork Maniac. I don't want to guess her first name because I'll get it wrong. You know I will. But she does that because she's a teacher. And in May, it's just too hectic with the end of school. Or she works for a school or something. I think she works in a school. I don't know. So she does it in March instead. And I thought, oh, why didn't I think of that? Just do it in March. So I have some things that'll carry over from Mania in 2021 and 2022. There might even be a 2020. We'll see. So I need to organize that and then plan what I want to start in March, because the possibilities are endless. That's why I love Mania, because you can just start something new every single day. So I need to make plans for that in February. So I'll be ready to go in March, because I know if you do not plan ahead, you're not stitching Stitch Mania, because it takes a lot of preparation to get all those projects kitted up and organized. And so I need to do that in February before we go on our cruise, because the way we come back from our cruise, I don't have any hope. No, there's no way I'm going to get my poop in a group after coming back from a cruise. So, anywho, so that's my plans for February. Nate turns 15 in February. Driver's training starts very soon. Send help. I'm not ready. So, okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for commenting and liking and sharing and subscribing. You guys are all so kind and understanding. And I love commenting with you guys and back and forth and getting to know you guys that way. A lot of you have found me on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Teresa McMath01. It's my handle. So I've been posting over there. Right now I'm taking a couple days of break because I get addicted to checking it. And I can't get a lot of stitching done when I'm checking Instagram 800 times a day. So right now it's not installed on my phone. So I can get a lot done. I might even get that January finished. The suspense is killing me. All I have to do is stitch those mittens. And then I feel like I finished in January more than I started. I think that's true. Oh, I should count. Do you know that I looked at this, there's this chart in my binder, in my cross stitch thingy, and my cross stitch planner. I'll think of words. So I did print off this, and I did stitch every day, but individually in the months, all of my printables are from Katie at the Naptime Stitcher on Etsy. All of her cool printables are amazing. I'm loving them. And hold on, let me find it. Mine is like a transformer planner, so I have it so that I can turn it and it'll be a regular planner. But this sheet right here, I did not anticipate how much I was going to enjoy this sheet. I love it so much. I love it. And it's very interesting to me, and I don't know that I remembered every single thing. I feel like I could have missed some things, but I really, really, really loved tracking what I stitched each day, and to see, like, you can see my schooler during school, you know, and then later that day I'd stitch on this or that, whatever. Very interesting, and I like tracking that. I never would have thought to track that, but I really, really liked it. Good job, Katie. You're a genius. Genius. What show was that from? Octonauts? I don't know. Anyway, alright guys, I'm gonna go probably make dinner and fight with this to load up. Thank you again. I'll talk to you soon. Probably not next week, but the following week. Because I don't have a lot going on. Somebody, oh, it was B&E Stitchery. Brandy and Emma. They mentioned me in their Flosstube. They watched me and they mentioned me, and they said, I can't believe she does it alone. And I was thinking, yeah, you know why? Because all y'all that have doubles, if you can't think of a word, your friend will help you. And here you all are at home yelling at the TV, Game of Thrones, Teresa! Holy crap! I know! It's so frustrating. Anyway, I'll talk to you girls, or y'all later. Have a wonderful stitchy week. Stay healthy and happy. Bye.